Ambassador Vexhai had seen many species in his centuries of diplomatic service across the Galactic Coalition, but humans still puzzled him. The delegation from Earth sat quietly in the ornate meeting chamber of Nexus Station, their pale forms dwarfed by the towering Krithari warriors and the crystalline Zephyrians, who sparkled like living gemstones under the artificial suns. Ana Martinez, the human ambassador, was particularly unremarkable. She stood barely 5 feet tall, her brown hair pulled back in what humans called a ponytail, and wore simple gray robes that seemed almost primitive compared to the elaborate ceremonial armor of other species. When she spoke, her voice carried no more authority than a gentle breeze. She smiled often, nodded politely, and took careful notes on an archaic paper pad, while others used neural interfaces and holographic displays. "Such fragile creatures," muttered Commander Thakmor of the Krithari Empire, his 4 arms crossed over his battle-scarred exoskeleton. How did they even survive their home planet? The peace negotiations had been going poorly for weeks. The Outer Rim territories were in dispute, with multiple species claiming mining rights to the lucrative crystal formations found throughout the sector. The Krithari wanted to settle matters through combat trials. The Zephyrians insisted on complex, mathematical probability assessments, and the gas-dwelling Vortani demanded atmospheric sovereignty. Only the humans seemed content to listen, occasionally offering gentle suggestions that were largely ignored. Helen Russo, the other human delegate, sat beside Ana with equal patience. Where Ana was small and soft-featured, Helen was tall and angular, her silver hair marking her as what humans called elderly, though she moved with surprising grace. She spent most meetings quietly observing, her pale blue eyes tracking every gesture and word with the intensity of a predator studying its prey. "Perhaps we could establish a rotation schedule for mining rights," Ana suggested during the morning session, her voice so quiet that the translation devices struggled to pick up her words. Each species could have access for predetermined periods, allowing everyone to benefit from the resources. Thakmor's laugh was like grinding stone. "Humans speak of sharing as if the universe cares about fairness. The strong take what they need. The weak starve." Ana simply nodded and made another note on her pad. "I understand your perspective, Commander." Vexhai noticed that Helen's eyes narrowed slightly, but the older human said nothing. The breakthrough came during the 3rd week, when Ana proposed bringing in the Vanguard Collective as neutral arbitrators. The suggestion sent the room into chaos. The Vanguard were known throughout the galaxy as ruthless conquerors who had never lost a territorial dispute. Their Warbeasts, massive 6-legged predators with crystalline claws and telepathic hunting abilities, were legendary for their savagery. "You invite death to our negotiation table," hissed the Zephyrian representative, her crystalline form pulsing angry red. "The Vanguard don't arbitrate," Thakmor growled. "They conquer." Ana's smile never wavered. "They've expressed interest in peaceful resolution. Their representative should arrive within the hour." When the Vanguard ship docked, the station's security protocols activated automatically. These beings had never visited Nexus Station for diplomatic purposes, only as conquerors scouting their next target. The representative, a hulking creature called the Apex, entered the chamber flanked by 2 Warbeasts, whose presence made even the Krithari warriors step back. The Warbeasts were magnificent and terrifying, each one the size of a small transport, their midnight black hide rippling with barely contained muscle. Their eyes glowed with predatory intelligence, and the telepathic field they projected made lesser species tremble involuntarily. "We do not negotiate," the Apex announced, its voice like grinding metal. "We take what serves the collective. These territories will be ours." The larger Warbeast began moving around the room, its claws clicking against the polished floor as it investigated each delegate. When it reached the human section, it paused, sniffing the air. Ana continued taking notes, seemingly oblivious to the creature's interest. "Your species smells of fear." The Warbeast spoke directly into the minds of everyone present, its telepathic voice dripping with hunger. "Small, soft things. We will enjoy the hunt." The creature moved closer to Anna, lowering its massive head until its breath ruffled her hair. Its mouth opened slightly, revealing teeth like crystalline daggers. Anna looked up from her notepad and smiled. "Oh, you're beautiful," she said softly, reaching out as if to pet the creature. What happened next took less than 3 seconds, but Vexhai would replay those moments in his memory for decades to come. The Warbeast, perhaps caught off guard by Anna's fearless response, allowed her small hand to touch its head. In that instant, Anna's other hand moved with impossible speed, finding a specific point behind the creature's skull. There was a sharp crack, barely audible over the station's ambient hum. The Warbeast collapsed, its massive form hitting the floor with a thunderous crash. Its eyes had gone dark and the telepathic field vanished instantly. Anna straightened her robes and sat back down, picking up her pen as if nothing had happened. "I believe we were discussing the mining rotation schedule," she said in the same gentle voice she'd used throughout the negotiations. The room was silent. The second Warbeast backed away from the humans, a low whine emerging from its throat. The apex stared at Anna with something that might have been respect. Or fear. "How?" Thakmor whispered. Helan spoke for the first time, in days her voice carrying the weight of ancient authority. Anna studied xenobiology at the Mars Military Institute. She wrote her dissertation on pressure point vulnerabilities across 847 known sentient species. The older woman's smile was sharp as a blade. She knows exactly where to touch to make anything stop moving. Anna looked up from her notes again, that same gentle smile on her face. "Now then, shall we continue our discussion? I really think the rotation schedule will work wonderfully for everyone." The Outer Rim territories were divided equally among all parties within the hour. It was, the Galactic Press later reported, the fastest territorial negotiation in coalition history. But Vexhai never forgot the lesson he learned that day. Humans might appear soft and fragile, but they were the only species he'd ever encountered who could kill with kindness, literally.